Day 8 of the Hardthings project. Keep going. Salute first. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I could drink water the whole day. Normally, I get to drink my whole gallon of water, but without one of these, I know they're not sponsoring me yet. Maybe one day, but without one of these, it doesn't have to be flavored. Just a sparkling water, just like feeling the bubbles, means the world to me. Makes my day 10 times better. I'm not gonna lie, it does. Um, guys, welcome to the Hard Things project. Today's day 8. Today was a very interesting day. I believe I've experienced a little bit of an evolution today. Let me explain. So today I went to the gym. I was supposed to run for 20 minutes straight at a medium pace. That will be 5 miles per hour to 6 miles per hour for me at this time. And then it was a pull day, so I'll be back in biceps. I haven't really been doing biceps. I just do sustained movement because unfortunately I've injured my tendon last year actually, and it heals and then it gets injured again. It heals and it gets injured again, and I've been doing all types of therapies. Been doing some other types of therapies as well, by injecting plasma. Forgot, and it worked for some time, but then again the same thing. So I'm currently injured, and also I don't know what happened the other day. It was a push day, and I've injured my shoulder, but my right shoulder. So I'm a mess on my upper body, but the fact that I'm training my lower body at this time is perfect because that means that I can still go to the gym and do my thing, right? But after that, I was supposed to have my pull day, and as soon as I started warming up, I was like, all right, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So I decided to stop and just go straight for the recovery. 30 minutes of compression boots and then do the sauna and the jacuzzi for 10 minutes each. And I think that was like the best thing that I've done. It was very mature from my part, let me tell you. In the past, being a gym rat, I would have probably taken a capsule of caffeine or maybe some pre-workout and just go with it, just be like, hey, like, this is a good type of pain, but gets to a point where you really learn to differentiate discernment, really learn to differentiate between the good and the bad type of pain, and they're very different. Believe me, you probably know if you work out, so anyway, I felt that, and I used my time on the compression boots because I'm telling you guys, at this moment, I have zero time. I work for 12 hours a day at the gym for like 2-3 hours. That hour, I use it for, like, I don't know, doing my laundry or like eating or like feeding my puppy, stuff like that. I have no social life right now, and I'm okay with it. I'm not complaining. But I really enjoy being with my family. Truly, love it. Everybody's lovely. Love everybody in my family. We get along with everybody. Well, except my dad a little bit, but he's okay. And ah, forgot to turn on the light. Can you guys see me well? Yeah, fine. It's good. It's good. I have a good light. Um, what was I telling you guys? Oh yeah, I was talking about time. There's no time right now, and I haven't even had the chance. Normally, in the month of December, like, we have like whole rituals with my family. I'm telling you, like whole rituals, in the sense that we do something every day. We either watch Christmas movies or we go somewhere. Like, we really do stuff for the festivities. And this year, my commitment yesterday, was talking to you guys a little bit about that as well, what it takes, right? When it comes to the sacrifices, that sometimes you have to say no to relationships that you think are the best thing that is currently happening in your life, and you even have to say no to that type of stuff. So, say, be, that being said, it's important that you guys know that when it comes to doing stuff that is challenging, you don't need to say no to everything. That's not what I'm trying to say. It depends on the type of challenge that you're getting ready to. But if it's really important, I was telling you 2 days ago that probably the number one thing that everybody should do in order to advance as fast as possible, because we like speed, but good stuff take time. However, if you make a list of hopefully just one, but normally it's two, and it could be up to three priorities in your life, and you say, okay, I'm good. I was able to find the top three things that I want to focus in, let's say 2026. You know, a lot of people like to do resolutions. Personally, I don't believe in resolutions because it allows you to procrastinate until the first, right? And then when you don't do it starting the first, whatever your resolution is, then you start feeling guilty. So that's a big no-no for me. I've done it in the past. I'm done with it. If I really want to work on something, then I'm starting right now. And you should too. Think about it. I don't think you should wait until the first. I know that Christmas is coming and New Year's is coming, but if you really want that thing that is currently in your mind, then probably do it tomorrow. Just saying, right? It's the 10th of December. Today is the 11th. Today could be your day one. Tomorrow could be your day one, right? No excuses. But anyway, I had no time, but I had those 30 minutes that I was in the compression boots and just did some journaling and some meditation of everything that's been going on. And I wanted to work on some material for you guys because I feel like for the past few days, I've been just coming here and winging it, right? Kind of. Just talking about the training or stuff that like comes to my mind, but I haven't prepared anything, and honestly I'm not going to be able to do it at least until the 15th of January. That's when I'm going to stop working for 12 hours a day, and I'm going to go back to being a person with a little bit of social life. But I wanted to prepare something for you guys based on my meditation, okay? So I've been talking a lot about letting go. And one of the things when it comes to letting go that I've realized is that sometimes when you say no to something that it's important to you, but you say no for a bigger reason, your purpose, or the mission that God has for you, or the mission that you think the universe has for you. Listen, doesn't matter what you believe on. There's a higher power. We're so small. That's no longer your path, right? And it's not because you didn't like or you didn't love that person or that thing. Not necessarily because you're broken or because you failed yourself or you failed the other person, but because the person that you're becoming cannot stay where you were staying before. Because at the end of the day, one of the reasons why we miss those things so much is because it brings us comfort and familiarity, right? So we're talking about becoming and changing. And sometimes when we don't say no to those things, we don't get to change either. So we need to understand that when it comes to versions, we're changing every single day. But there's this new version that is forming, and there's that old version of you that needs to start dying. And obviously, the new version is going to have a lot from you, but at the same time, it's a brand new thing. So you're trying to bring with you the good stuff and try to leave behind the bad stuff. So when that happens, you outgrow that chapter in your life that you had before. And anything that had happened, anything that you're moving from, it's part of your story, but keep in mind that that's not your destination. Okay? So, what you miss in reality is that version of you that existed when you were doing that type of activity, when you were with that person, the comfort, the safety, and the fantasy of the what if. We love to fantasize and we like to think, hey, what would have happened if, you know, what if that, what this. But at the end of the day, we just don't know. We need to stop fantasizing. But that's one of the reasons why it hurts so deep. So, we're not crazy, we're not weak. We're just grieving. Anything that we leave behind, anything that we say no to that used to be very important to us, we grieve. And, one thing that I was meditating today that I want to read to you today is that we can honor the past without letting it run our life anymore. I think that's very important. So attachment and fear, it's what keeps us, just like thinking about what would have happened. Did I make the right decision? Did I make the wrong decision? And, there's different types of fear. We have the fear of being alone. We have the fear of starting over. That's a big one, especially when you're like trying to like submerge in a new project. And when it comes to relationships, the fear that you're not gonna find someone who gets you, like that person used to get you, right? But remember that God, He is the one that manages all the strings, and He pulls you out of that life, but He never abandons you in the middle. I believe that the best is yet to come, always, because I do believe that His project for you, His will, is better than anything that you can imagine. It's going to make sense eventually, at the end. And why does God pulls us out of stuff? It's because we have, in my case, races to run, a body to transform, a mind to harden, a mission to build, people to impact, and a version of you, of me, that we would have never seen if we wouldn't have made those commitments, if we wouldn't have chosen the hardest path, right? Now, something very important, right, that we also need to think about is that when it comes to our calling, we need to set a daily standard. We need to try to set a daily standard so we can reinforce that identity that we're trying to build. Because believe me, either your mind, the enemy, the devil, bad luck, anything that you believe is true, there is powers that are negative, just like there's powers that are positive, okay? So if you don't work on reinforcing your identity every single day, then you're basically opening the door for those negative energies or for the enemy to get into your head and try to deconstruct that identity that you're trying to build. Because it is 10 times easier to do an activity that it is not productive, to do an activity that gives you pleasure, to consume entertainment, than to actually put in the work. So what we're trying to do here is be methodic, but be also very practical into like studying how we can become better. So it's not just about saying stuff, it's not just about talking about it. That releases some dopamine and it feels good, but it doesn't help at the end, because you're going to wake up the next day, and if you don't have any structure and if you don't have a plan, nothing is going to work out. So we're trying to find a way in which we can study our body and our mind, but we can also study the forces that play against our body and our mind. Because believe me, when we talk about the spiritual battle, if you understand the term, you would understand that 100% of the time, every single of your day, you're living a battle. A battle between good and evil, battle between God and the enemy, a battle between good thoughts and bad thoughts. And you have the control of choosing which path you're gonna go. However, sometimes, and in fact for a lot of people most of the time, it feels literally impossible to make some choices or say no to certain things. But the reason why it feels impossible is because it might be impossible at the time. You need to build that identity and that character brick by brick every single day and not stop. Because 3 days ago we were talking about saying yes to certain things for pleasure just once, because your friends tell you, because your partner tells you, because your family tells you that it's okay to do it. But we know ourselves, right? In this channel, we know ourselves. We know how this works. When you open the door that one time, it might be followed by a second and a third, and it's very likely. And then you wake up and you're like, wait a second, what happened? I was working on this and now I'm not. And in fact, I don't even recognize the person that I'm looking in the mirror at this time. And that started from one bad activity. So keep that in mind. So when it comes to building your identity, you have to make the proper sacrifices, but you have to do the planning as well. Something that I like to talk about almost every single day, it's the fact that you have to make the path as easy as possible when it comes to stuff that it benefits you. So let's put some examples. Getting all your clothes ready at night, or going into the kitchen and setting everything ready so in the morning you know exactly what you're gonna have for breakfast, and you just have to follow the steps, right? But on the other side, let's look at bad behaviors. You think that you're watching too much TV. Let's say that you say or you tell yourself that you love Netflix or you love watching series, but deep down, that's not true. It's not true. It might give us a short-term pleasure, but believe me that it is not natural to look at people in the screen do things that you could be doing in your own life. It doesn't make sense, right? So one thing that you could do when it comes to your TV, if you think that you're watching too much or you're complaining about not having time, how about you disconnect it so it becomes a little bit inconvenient every time that you want to turn on that TV, because now you have to stand up, you have to connect the TV, and at the end of the day, one day, maybe you're gonna say, you know what, I have a book next to me. Let's grab the book, or let's just go to sleep so we can wake up tomorrow early. Just very small stuff like that. And only you know all the routines, all the habits that you have throughout your day. But at the same time, you don't. Okay? So this is what you're going to do tonight. You're going to grab your iPad, you're going to grab your computer, you're going to grab a notebook, whatever it is, and you're going to write every single thing that you do. And you have to take your time, because you're going to realize that we do a lot of stuff. We just don't realize because we're so used to doing it. So you're literally going to write every single thing that you do from the second that you wake up until the second that you go to sleep. And keep in mind that this is not an activity that you're just going to do for 30 minutes. You're going to do it the whole day. Because as you're going through your day, you're going to realize that there is stuff that you didn't even know that you do, but now you write it down. At the end of the night, you're going to take a look at your notebook and at your notes, And you can observe. Don't judge. Just observe. See how you behave. See what you do. And while you're observing, be very observant of stuff in your routine and your habits that make you feel good, and stuff that makes you feel not so good. You know what I'm talking about. Because while you're reading line by line, habit by habit, routine by routine, you're going to realize that it produces some type of emotion in you. And it's not going to be X or Y emotion. There's going to be a range of emotions that you're going to experience. But just try to put those in two buckets. Don't complicate yourself. Put them in two buckets. One could be the green bucket and the other one is going to be a red bucket. You know which one and what goes in each of those. Once you put every single thing into those buckets, then you're going to take a look into the green ones and you're going to observe why is that behavior makes you feel good. And normally you're going to find out that the reason why these behaviors make you feel good is because they're either good for you, or they take work, or they lead into something that is productive, or something that facilitates your day. The other bucket is the complete opposite. All right? Once you have that, you're going to try to make a list from easiest to hardest. All right? A list from easiest to hardest. We're talking about a routine, a habit. So, for example, brushing your teeth. Probably going to be among the easiest, right? Taking a shower. Probably going to be the easiest as well. There's other things that you might do throughout your day, like probably being used to like grabbing a snack, which is like the easiest, but it's in the red bucket. So what you're gonna do is try to have that list, and then you become aware of every single thing that you do throughout your day. And every single thing that you do is gonna have a color. That color is gonna be green, or it's gonna be red. But now you're aware, right? We're gonna leave it there. You're gonna observe that behavior for a week. Don't try to change anything yet. Just observe. Observe it as green or red. And then next week, I'll tell you what's the next step in order to be able to destroy some bad habits and maybe start building some good ones at the same time. Guys, today's been day 8 of the Hardthings project. Tomorrow is rest day, which means that we're gonna do easy cycling for like 30 minutes, and we're probably gonna swim for like an hour, but also like very easy swimming, just to like try to build the engine and keep it running. Guys, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for following me in this journey, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.